Okay, let's dive right in. Probiotics. You've seen the name pretty much everywhere, but let's be honest, all the buzz has created a lot of confusion. Are they a miracle cure, or is it all just marketing hype? Well, we're going to cut through the noise and get right to the science.
I mean, it's true. They have totally gone mainstream. You see them in the dairy aisle, in the pharmacy, even at the beauty counter. Probiotics are being sold as this key to better health. But with so many options out there, it's really easy to feel, well, overwhelmed.
And that is the million-dollar question, isn't it? That's exactly what we are going to break down in this explainer. By the end of this, you'll get what they are, what they can, and just as importantly, what they can't do, and how you can tell the good stuff from the hype.
So, first things first, let's start with the most important question. What in the world are probiotics? And to really get it, we need to meet this incredible ecosystem that's already living inside of you.
It's a pretty simple definition, but it's really powerful. The word itself actually comes from Greek, and it means for life. So these aren't just any old bacteria. They are specific, beneficial microbes that are meant to work with your body. Right. And here's the thing. Probiotics don't work in a vacuum. They're joining this massive, incredibly complex community that's already set up shop inside you. We call it your gut microbiome. Just try to picture it as this bustling city, or maybe a dense rainforest ecosystem, all happening right inside your digestive system. And get this is wild. If you were to somehow gather up all the microbes in your gut, they would weigh between 2 and 3 pounds. That's actually more than your brain. So you see, this isn't just a handful of bacteria. It's a really significant part of what makes you, you. So what does this inner world of yours actually do? Well, a whole lot, it turns out. It helps break down your food, it creates essential vitamins like K and B, and this one's huge, it houses and trains about 70% of your entire immune system. It even has a say in your metabolism and your mood through something called the gut-brain axis. It's basically a communication highway where your gut microbes can produce neurotransmitters that affect how you feel. So yeah, keeping this community happy is absolutely key to your overall health. So if your gut is feeling a little out of balance, can probiotics actually help? Let's take a look at what the scientific evidence really says. Okay, let's start with one of the strongest areas of research, antibiotics. You know, taking them can sometimes wipe out the good bacteria right along with the bad, which can lead to diarrhea. But here's the good news. Studies show that certain probiotics can slash the risk of that antibiotic-associated diarrhea by up to 60%. That's a huge, proven benefit. And this brings us to probably the most crucial point of all. Not all probiotics are created equal. You got to think of them like specialists. Each strain has a very different job. As you can see here, L. rhamnosus GG is a total hero for antibiotic support, while something like Bifidobacterium infantis is a go-to for certain IBS symptoms. It really is all about matching the right tool to the right job. And the benefits don't just stop at the gut. Because the microbiome is so deeply connected to the rest of the body, research is uncovering all these wider effects. We're seeing solid evidence for things like reducing your risk of catching a cold, helping to prevent eczema in kids, and even supporting mood through what scientists are now calling psychobiotics. These are strains that can actually influence anxiety and stress levels. Pretty amazing.
Okay, but it can't all be good news, right? I mean, while probiotics are generally very, very safe, it's important to have a balanced view and understand the potential side effects.
So let's just tackle the most common concern head on. You start taking a probiotic, you're hoping to feel better, but instead you just feel, well, bloated. Is that normal? And the short answer is yes, it can happen. When you introduce these new, good bacteria, they get to work fermenting fibers in your gut, and that process produces gas. But you should think of it as a temporary adjustment period. For most people, this whole thing settles down within a week or two, as your inner ecosystem finds its new normal.
Now, while a little temporary gas is common and pretty mild, there are certain groups of people who need to be much more careful. For people who are critically ill or have a severely weakened immune system, or for premature infants, probiotics can pose some rare but very serious risks. So for these groups, talking to a doctor first is absolutely essential. You know, the popularity of probiotics has also led to a lot of myths, so let's do a little rapid-fire fact-checking, shall we? You see this on labels all the time, right? 50 billion CFUs, 100 billion CFUs. The marketing definitely implies that the biggest number always wins.
But the truth is, it's not about having the highest number. It's about having the right number of the right strain for your specific goal. Some strains work perfectly well at just 5 billion CFUs, while others might need more. So more isn't better. Appropriate is better.
Now, this is probably the biggest and most important myth we need to bust. So many people just grab a generic probiotic off the shelf thinking it's going to solve whatever problem they have.
And this analogy just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? Each strain is a specialist. You wouldn't use a hammer when you need a screwdriver. It just wouldn't work. In the same way, you shouldn't use a probiotic for constipation when what you really need is one for immune support. The strain matters more than anything else.
Okay, so with all this info, how do you actually go about choosing the right probiotic for you? Let's put everything we've talked about into a simple 5-step guide.
Here we go. Step 1, know your why. What problem are you actually trying to solve? 2, find the specific strain that's been researched for that goal, and make sure you look for the full name. 3, check that the CFU count matches what the research says is effective. 4, look for quality seals from third-party testers like USP or NSF. And finally, number 5, think about the delivery system. Does the capsule have some kind of special coating to make sure those live bacteria actually survive your stomach acid and make it to your gut where they can do their job?
You know, at the end of the day, probiotics are just one tool. They're not a magic bullet, and they work best when they're part of an overall healthy diet and lifestyle. So the final question isn't just, do probiotics work? It's whether, based on the evidence, they are the right tool for you to add to your personal health toolkit.